What's up, peoples? So, we back with another Daredevil Born Again review. This time it's episodes 5 and 6. I got two important videos to bring out to y'all today. This one and the other one I'll just wait. I'll just wait to do it to tell y'all. But y'all probably already know anyway. But so, episode 5 and 6 of Daredevil Born Again. I think these were some pretty solid episodes this time. Episode 6 was pretty hype. Episode 5 was basically a self-contained story. Yusuf Khan was in the episode, and he's Kamala Khan's dad, Miss Marvel's dad. Now, I don't really like the Miss Marvel show. The Miss Marvel show is pretty much the only show in the MCU that I don't want to watch because I just don't like it. It's not for me. But I did like Miss Marvel's dad. I didn't like Miss Marvel's mom, but I did also like Miss Marvel's brother. So literally my only two favorite members of the Miss Marvel cast was Yusuf Khan and her brother, Miss Marvel's brother. I didn't like Bruno at all. I found Bruno to be very, very cringy. Miss Marvel even more cringy. But yeah, Yusuf Khan was in this movie, and his line in the Marvels of him telling that one guy what he could do with his savings and stuff, with like money and stuff, that set up this episode because he's a banker in this episode, hence bank robbery episode. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty smart, pretty clever. It got pretty intense. It takes place during St. Patrick's Day. So Daredevil Born Again takes place in March, 1 month before Captain America Brave New World. So, yeah. So far, Captain America Brave New World is the farthest movie out in the timeline, with Daredevil Born Again right before that. So, yeah. This bank robbery heist was, there wasn't much that happened. It's kind of like the last episode, I think. There wasn't a lot that happened. But it was very interesting, and the stakes were definitely there. Because, man, I remember the first time I watched this, I was like, oh shit. Like, oh my god, it's tense. And, man, it's just, like, he just enters the bank. Matt Murdock enters the bank, and there's a whole bank robbery going on. And you're like, man, how is Charlie Cox going to get out of this? And it's kind of like with the Arrow. That's why I kind of liked the Arrow show, because he got himself into these situations, and you're like, how is he going to get himself out of this? So, but what what Matt Murdock did in this episode, the bank heist, the bank robbery, that was pretty slick. That was pretty slick. That was pretty smart. I just thought it was so smart that like all the robbers were there. They had everyone at gunpoint. And then Matt Murdock's like, I need to go. And he's like, you should have had that. You should have took a chance when you had it, Stevie Wonder. And then he's like, no, to the restroom. It's like, ooh, that's smart. I don't think they anticipated anyone saying that they needed to go to the restroom. That diverts from the plan. He just threw a wedge in their plan. So that was smart. And then he silently took him out. I would say the fight scenes and the action in these two episodes was really, really, really good. It was really good. Man, the Irish guy, he was pretty funny. He was the main leader guy of this whole bank robbery thing, and he was pretty funny. He wasn't very intimidating. Maybe only briefly he was intimidating, but not that much. But he was funny, though. He was like, what I'm saying to you is to have him take my place. Is that what you're saying to me? It's really funny. Like, he was really funny. But, man, he ain't going to be too funny after what Matt Murdock did to him. He thought he was going to get out of there. And I like the setup that they did whenever Yusuf Khan was like, hey, you want some candy? And it was like yellow type of candy. I think it was like a hard candy. I think it was like hard candy, maybe caramel, maybe caramel corn. No, I'm kidding. But so they set that up, and then Yusuf Khan said yes because he was nervous. They asked him if he's able to open the vault, and he said yes because he was nervous. He didn't know what to say. So Matt Murdock told him to go down there and stall. Well, he goes and takes out the guy silently, and once he did, he goes back and takes out the other guy that had Yusuf Khan at gunpoint. He opens the safe. They find the key, and they find this yellow diamond. I didn't even know diamonds looks like that, but I bet you that thing is worth a lot of money. That thing was thick and shiny. It even had its own sound effects. So then he was like, I got this right here. And he's like, here, catch. But he replaced one of those caramel wrappers and put him in the jewelry bag. Threw it to him. He passed it off to the girl who was a part of the heist the whole time, which I didn't even catch that my first time. But then I rewatch it and I'm like, wow, that is pretty suspicious. How does she know all this? And she's very calm. So it was there the whole time, which honestly isn't very surprising. I think they did the same thing in the Punisher episode. I think it was one of the episodes where they were doing another bank robbery, and one of the people that pretended to work there, he was an inside man the whole time, and then he ended up dying anyway. Sorry, spoilers for the Punisher season 2. I have a very bad habit of doing that. But anyway, so yeah, I think they were trying to get that diamond for Vanessa so that maybe she could pass the diamond off to Luca, who owes Victor $1.8 in restitution, I think is what they said. But since he went up to Kingpin's office, his mayor office, in episode 6, now Kingpin brought it up to 2.8 because he was very disrespectful. And he is a disrespectful little shit. It's like, bro, you wear a fucking tracksuit. You are nothing, dude. You ain't no fucking gangster. Like, what the hell? Kingpin will rock your shit. I was like, alright, well, now you gotta pay double the money, and you're gonna get your ass kicked. Good job. But so Matt Murdock caught up to that guy, and he beat the living shit out of him. He grabbed his head, and then he slammed it on a bottle. Now there's glass all in his face, and then he pushed him up, and he was like leaning up against the wall. And then Matt Murdock jumped and fucking like made his knee go like in. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh Jesus. Ugh. That did not look like it felt very good. But there isn't much to talk about for the bank robbery episode. It only took place in one location the entire episode. There's a leprechaun joke in this episode though, because the guy, the main Irish guy, who was doing the bank robbery, he's like, if you can make me laugh, I'll give you 3 more. I think he means like 3 more hostages. And she tells him a joke about a leprechaun nun or some shit, and she's like, oh, blimey, I fucked a penguin. I'm like, what? Out of all the jokes you could have chosen, you choose one that I don't get. Out of all the jokes in the world, you chose that one. But it was a pretty good episode. Pretty heartwarming. Pretty intense too at the same time. The stakes were there for sure. But there wasn't much to this episode really. Yeah, there wasn't really much to this episode. Episode 6, though, is where the action really is. Like, Daredevil finally put that suit on again. And what's really weird is, in episode 6, what finally makes him put on his Daredevil suit again is, Hector Ayala, I finally remembered his name, his niece, who has been trying to pick up on Hector Ayala's work, like trying to live up to his name and stuff and finish what he started, even though she's really young. She went to Matt Murdock and she was like, my uncle was onto something, and I think you should do something about that. And Matt Murdock's like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm just a lawyer. And so she said, you know what Hector Ayala told me 2 days before he got shot? Never rely on somebody to do something you can do for yourself. So that means that she was going to go and find out what's going on with Muse and all these missing people and shit. Because the missing people connects back to Muse. And I didn't even make that connection in episode, I think, 3? I'm pretty sure it was episode 3. where he was like, people are going missing and nobody seems to care. I was like, oh wow, that was about Muse. I didn't even catch that. So White Tiger was onto Muse's case, so his niece is trying to pick that up again. And then White Tiger's wife, which would be his mom, I guess. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. But she was like, she's not coming home. She said she was going to go talk to you, and then she hasn't come back. She doesn't usually do this. And he was researching the tunnels at the same time. So he had a hunch, a feeling where she would be. And so he was about to call 911, but then he says, fuck it. And he puts on his Daredevil suit. That's exactly what happened in my Dark Avenger story. And maybe not exactly the same situation, circumstances, but in my Dark Avenger story, he is thinking about his conversation with Karen, how she doesn't want him to be Daredevil because she's worried about him. She doesn't want him to die. So, but he knows that she doesn't understand why he does this. And so he was upset about that. And he's like, why does no one ever understand? Why does no one understand that this is what I have to do? These are my morals, my ideals, and everyone's asking me to go against that, and they don't understand. And he was like, fuck it. And he put on his Daredevil suit. Same exact thing happened in my story. But this was mainly a Muse episode. It was them cracking down on the Muse killings. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I already knew some of the things that Muse does, but to hear it out loud, it's like, wow, okay, that is really dark. He paints his murals with the blood of his victims. So yeah, that is really, really dark. Like, he kidnaps his victims, whether he finds them or they find him. Either way, he kills them, cuts out their eyes, drains their blood, and uses their blood to draw his murals. That's really sick, disgusting, sinister, and dark. Like, that is really fucking messed up. That is creepy. That is and that's gross too. You better hope you don't catch hepatitis. But the fight scenes in this episode was really, really fucking good. Like, it makes me wish we had a little bit more Daredevil in this season. But we don't have to worry about that because season 2 is going to deliver on some Daredevil shit. The symbolism, though, of him praying to Foggy's in loving memory thing, and then he puts his Daredevil horn on top of that. The symbolism of that. Putting his penance on his dead friend. Wow. But I think the reason why Daredevil came back this time is because he knows he can't just stay on the sidelines anymore. People are getting hurt. People are getting killed. And he could be helping, and he's doing nothing about it. And sometimes it doesn't work as Matt Murdock. It worked briefly for White Tiger, and then he ended up dead. And then Hector Ayala's niece almost ended up dead too. Foggy's dead. Father Lantom is dead. Like, he's lost a lot of people. But granted, he was still being Daredevil whenever Father Lantom died. But he has to come back as Daredevil. He has to embrace his true self. This is who he is, and this is what he has to do. Even though there's other vigilantes out there like Spider-Man. But, yeah, the fight scenes were really fucking good. And I really like... Remember how I said Kingpin and Daredevil are like mirroring each other throughout this entire season? That fight that they had, it was Daredevil versus Muse and Kingpin versus Adam. Kingpin beat the living shit out of Adam. Oh my god, I'm surprised that man is still alive. His head was like busted up against a brick wall. I'm like, oh my god, how is he still alive? But they were mirroring each other, like the same movements that Daredevil was doing to Muse, Kingpin was doing to Adam. I'm like, wow, so they really are two sides of the same coin. And I really like how he learned his lesson this time, and it's kind of like the mirror thing that like Andrew Garfield did in Spider-Man No Way Home. That's what it made me think of. Because in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Gwen Stacy dies by falling, and he tried shooting his web first to catch her, and then he was going to like hold, but the string like straightened, and BAM! Gwen Stacy hit her head on the ground and died. So in Spider-Man No Way Home, instead what he did, he didn't go for his webs first. He went to go catch her first and then webbed. So it's kind of similar to what Daredevil did this time. In episode 1, he was fighting Bullseye. He was too busy fighting Bullseye that he wasn't there for his friend. Even though I'm pretty sure it was a lost cause for Foggy anyway. But still, he wasn't focused on fighting the villain this time. He was fighting Muse, but then he was listening to Hector Ayala's niece's heart. And he said, no, this isn't worth it. So he gave up on Muse and went over to save her life. I was like, lesson learned. I like how they do that. They have these characters. It makes them so real because after someone close to them dies, they're always constantly thinking of what they could have done better. How could I have prevented this? What could I have done better to stop this? And Daredevil finally took his chance. Same thing as Andrew Garfield. He saw his chance and he took it. And he redeemed himself. Or at least he feels like he redeemed himself. So, yeah. Vanessa and Kingpin are getting a little bit closer. I mean, wow, this was a good episode. It was a good episode. We finally got Daredevil back. And these next 3 episodes, they're definitely directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. So these next 3 episodes are going to be so fucking fire. They're going to be fire. It's going to be a very good finale. I already know it is. They're going to cook. It's going to be mind-blowing. I can't wait to get there. But Daredevil's back. Daredevil is back. And it took 6 episodes to get there. But hey, I mean, that's alright, I guess. As of right now, I would say that, I mean, I like Daredevil Born Again. It's pretty good, but it feels like they haven't done enough. But maybe that's because there hasn't been a lot of action. So maybe in these next 3 episodes, if there's a lot more action, that makes up for all the slow burn that we've been doing. But I like the slow burn, though. So when I finally get to see this as a whole, it'll probably be very good. I mean, critics like it. I just wish we had more Daredevil, but I kind of like that we don't have much Daredevil. But I want more Daredevil. But I don't know, it's confusing. But I'm really happy that we finally focused on Muse. And that boy can fight. That boy can fight. I don't think he has any. What I heard was that he has the power to like make people like forget their senses or some shit. Like he can affect Daredevil's senses so that it makes it harder to fight him. I didn't see that happen. But we still got 3 more episodes to go. But this was a pretty damn good episode. No Punisher in these 2 episodes, but I like episode 6 more than I like episode 5. Still doesn't mean that episode 5 wasn't a good episode. It was a good episode. It was like a self-contained episode, and I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the bank robbery episode. It was interesting, and I liked it. It was different. I'm really looking forward to these next 3 episodes. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that I need to talk about. Episode 6 of Daredevil Born Again. I like how people were like saying, how did Daredevil know where Muse was? Because he's been researching the tunnels. It showed him throughout this entire episode of him researching the tunnels and all the, weird shit. But that was actually a very good excuse to bring back Daredevil. A serial killer out there who has 60 plus victims. They're hurting your people. They're hurting New York. They're hurting the people that you need to be protecting. You can prevent all these murders from happening, and it's already up to 60 people. You need to stop that. So that's a really good excuse to put the suit back on. So I really liked that. I thought that like he was gonna put the suit on after White Tiger died, and he was gonna be like, I need to find the killer, and I'm gonna be Daredevil again. But no. It was Muse that made him put on the suit again, which is understandable because that dude is really fucking weird and he's evil. He's so weird. But I really liked the fight scene at the very end. Like I was into it. That was epic. I can see the fight choreographer. I can see his touch from the original Daredevil seasons. I think that's it. Oh no, Swordsman came back from Hawkeye. Yeah, I liked him more in this than I liked him in Hawkeye. It was nice seeing him again. It was like a reunion of Hawkeye characters because I was watching it, and it took me the second time to watch the episode. I'm like, oh yeah, Kingpin was also in Hawkeye. So I'm like, wow, so it's like a Hawkeye reunion of characters. But I really enjoyed these 2 episodes. Really good, really really good. We got 3 more episodes to go. I can't believe we're already 3 episodes away from the finale. Went by fast. That's because we got 2 double episodes. I wonder if they'll double the season finale episodes. Probably not. But I'm really looking forward to episode 8 and 9 because Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio said that they're really looking forward to people watching episodes 8 and 9 of Daredevil Born Again. Charlie Cox said that episode 8 is iconic, and Vincent D'Onofrio said that his favorite episode is episode 9 because it's insane. So I cannot wait to see those episodes. They're going to be so fucking awesome. Anyway, that's all I got, though, and that's my review of Daredevil episode 5 and 6. Really liked these episodes. I've liked every episode so far, and I know I'm going to love these last 3 episodes, especially episode 8 and 9. They're going to be amazing. They're going to be amazing. I can't wait to get to the finale, and this will be my first TV series that I've covered fully. I didn't finish Agatha All Along with y'all. I didn't finish The Penguin with y'all. I'm not really good at doing these TV show reviews, but I'm committing to this. I'm committing to this show. I'm committing to Daredevil Born Again because it's fucking awesome. And I've been hyped for it for so long. And it started on my birthday. So, anyway, that's all I got. Everyone put a smile on your face. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. I promise you can. You just got to believe in yourself and you can do it. Belief is the key. I love you. You got this. You're a fucking badass. Bye. Love y'all.